last year with a knee injury, and you could tell she really put in the work during that year. There's Hannah, unfortunately, on the sidelines. Hidalgo second in the country in scoring behind Tania Latson, also in the ACC from Florida State. But with Hannah out, we get to see Maddy Westbeld make her first start of the year as she's in her fourth game back, coming back from a foot injury. And we are underway. Notre Dame wearing the white jerseys trimmed in gold. Georgia Tech, very similar school colors here. Georgia Tech wearing the dark blue. Sonia Citron, part of that three-guard lineup that is amazing when Notre Dame is at full strength. And for Georgia Tech, number one, Chit-Chat Wright gets the start. Part of a really good freshman class. King gets the rebound. Now, Sonia Citron, talk about versatility in her game, right? There's a three-level scorer.
I mean, the X factor of this team, and somebody who can defend 1 through 5, who can score at will, and just has incredible athleticism to her. We talked about it. Chit-Chat Wright, number one. Hey, welcome to guard you. Your very first start in college, and you come through Notre Dame's floor.
She did get a bit of a reprieve with Hannah Hidalgo out of the lineup, but still a challenge for the true freshman from Atlanta. King, who had a great fourth quarter as Notre Dame struggled a little bit in their last game against Clemson, the starting lineup. Carlin back from an injury in the starting lineup, and Maddy Westbeld, so good to see her back.
And you're going to see a lot of action with King, Westbeld, and Carlin today. One of the areas that Niele Ivey thought that they could really take advantage of was about at that 4 spot. She felt like the Irish, with their size and versatility, you see a lot of high-low action. And Georgia Tech, coming into this game, a little undersized.
Westbeld nails the three. Maddy's minutes have been upped in all 3 of her games. Termes misses wide right, and this is what Nell Fortner, the head coach of Georgia Tech, was concerned about, getting off to a slow start at 7-0.
Exactly. And having your 4 or your 5 kind of beat you down the block.
That is fine by her. Great help defense, right, by Carlin.
Yes, and Georgia Tech, the players, they understand spacing and pacing, rebounding. Great backdoor play with another great pass.
But then Morgan got her hand in to interrupt the shot. Ball off of Dunn. Notre Dame has it with 20 seconds to shoot. So we have Nell and Niele tonight. This is Nell Fortner, now in her 6th year with Georgia Tech, and trying to get her team back to the NCAA tournament. They did not make it last year or the year before, and has done such a terrific job as coach in the WNBA with the Fever, also the U.S. national team in the Olympics. Westbeld turnaround.
What a great touch. You see the approach she has to the game. She's a let the game come to me type of player, but if that shot is there, and you look at Notre Dame up and down the lineup, there is nobody you cannot scout for.
Now here's Niele in her 5th year, the coach of the year a couple of years ago, and has already got 100 wins. Got there even faster than Buffett McGraw.
Unbelievable. Just the job that Niele Ivey has done. And one of the great notes that came out is that Niele Ivey is the common link to all 9 Final Fours. 2 as a player, 7 as an assistant, and hunting for 1 as a head coach now.
And Georgia Tech really struggling. 0 for 7 from the floor. They were 0 for 5 from 3 until that shot went down for Chit-Chat Wright. Now her given name is Chastity. Citron bottled up there by Dunn, but somehow found Prosper. What a play.
Great job in breaking the pressure. You just fake, you go back to
We're going to push pace all night, but Notre Dame can run with them. Nice pass back door, count it. Termes with the terrific assist. Kara Dunn, the junior from Dallas, Georgia. A lot of Georgia players on this team, and that is one of the things that Nell Fortner has always wanted to do since she came there. Gosh, you know, there's so much talent in the state of Georgia in women's basketball. She wants to keep them home.
You know, it's a connected group, and you can tell that, you know, being local and how much talent is in the Atlanta area, that, you know, trying to build the program and taking it to a height they haven't been before.
A really good job. Picked 10th in the ACC, Brooke, and they already have 15 wins.
Yeah, they really have come together as a team and been one of those surprise teams in the ACC. You know, rise to that top and hitting the gauntlet. You can just see how tough it is. They're trying to avoid 3 losses in a row after starting the season 15-0.
Inside now to Paval. Lead to King. I mean, this is someone who I don't think gets enough love and attention.
Agreed. And Niele will tell you the exact same thing. Niele Ivey talks about how much she loves her as a player. Lead to King plays bigger than her 6-foot frame. She brings the emotional intelligence to this team. And not only that, she's already got 5 boards tonight.
Right. Outside shot off. Here's Citron. One of the concerns talk about the offensive rebounding, because as Coach Fortner said, if we miss, Notre Dame is gone.
Absolutely.
They are running down the court.
Many a team have fallen victim to transition defense in this building.
King, who played 4 years at Pitt and actually had a career high against Notre Dame while with Pitt last season. Prosper with the basket. The junior from Montreal, who only played 5 games last year before she got hurt, has also diversified her game.
Yeah, exactly. And she came up big in their game against Clemson.
Miles bringing the ball up. Westbeld met by Blackshear.
Really back in shape toward the end of February into March.
Her first game against North Carolina on January 5th. 8th in history of this great program in rebounding. The drive and the basket, nicely done, is off to a slow start. 0 for 4 now, and there's Carlin, the Marquette. He's thinking ahead.
Just kind of give her that space and try to force her to shoot over you.
Coming up next on the ACC Network, said today that if Cal wins, they could very well take a top 16 spot.
And you're kind of playing for that, to be able to have not only your name announced, but to be a hosting site. That's big.
Big advantage.
Yeah, I know Charlie had 10 teams the other day get into the tournament from the ACC. Not surprising, of course, but just competitive.
10 of the 18 teams. Citron misses off glass. 45 seconds left to go. Nice cut, but unable to hang on to the ball.
How can Duke, Carolina, NC State be looking at a 4? You think the teams are just so competitive within this league, and who knows, we could have a couple of #1 seeds by the time the season's over. That's the possibility in this league.
USC and UCLA, 2 of the top 4, now playing in the Big Ten. Carlin ran into trouble. Nice job by Tony Morgan, and their steps taken by Miles before the move.
And Notre Dame, actually only 3 more field goals at this point. It feels like they had a lot of ownership over the shots in this game.
Morgan, good look at the 3, and it went in right before the buzzer, and she had Prosper right up in her grill.
She sure did. Prosper maybe even got her fingertips on that. Olivia Miles tonight doing a great job creating for her teammates. What's tough, though, tonight, between she and Sonia Citron, just 1 of 7 from the floor. So these two, as much as you expect them to bring the points every single night, Notre Dame with the poison, as Coach Ivey likes to say, pick it. Lots of different scores for this squad.
They've led by as many as 9 in the first quarter. Now up by 4. Pam Ward and Westbeld joining you from South Bend, and Prosper stepped on the sideline.
Yeah, Tech getting back to being able to execute a bit. As we said, this is an offense that they've not run sets up to this point this year. So a lot of that's just creating on what the defense gives them.
Neither team shooting well in that first quarter. Both in the 30s. Westbeld, who got her first start of the year tonight, she is scoring. Maddy now has 9. How about Tony Morgan with 11 of Georgia Tech's 16?
Yeah, she's been the one constant for this team, taking big shots when they need him. And that's what you lose with Dandy Carter being out of the game. She's somebody that, even as a freshman, 15 points a game, directing this offense. You see the great look ahead, a dish from Miles to Citron. That one's going in.
Leads in most offensive categories of all ACC freshmen, including scoring. Gusanite just into the game with the miss. Chased down nicely by Citron. She found a little bit of a seam, took it and finished with her offhand.
It really shows up when you start to look at the immense skill set.
Just like that, Notre Dame has scored the first 7 points of this quarter. Dunn has it cupped out. Another rebound for King. For 6th. Coming off a double-double. And the win against Clemson. And here come the Irish.
And you see King try to get it inside to Koval, get her teammates involved once again, but she gave the news to Chit Chat that she was going to start tonight. She said, yeah, she's pretty unfazed about it.
And at the time, this Westbeld.
You can't force plays inside. You can't force to get everyone involved. And I felt like those 2 plays, those passes down to Kate Koval were forced.
Miles guarding right, the true freshman. And then the nice move off glass for Zoe Smith. Grad transfer from Georgia.
Big-time player who could come through with a 14th spot for Georgia Tech.
Over to Coach Fortner while she was bringing the ball up.
Excuse me, just a turnover from Citron, not a foul.
Dunn with a little bit of room on King, decided to drive to the basket, but that's where Koval was waiting for her. And a foul on the follow attempt.
You got to deal with her. Help side's got to come. So within no sets, it's almost difficult.
From Spain, stayed the summer in Atlanta and really worked on her game, and the numbers have borne that out.
I love to hear stories about how players stayed dedicated, really focused on their fitness in the offseason, and then the numbers speak for themselves once the season starts.
And it's funny what hard work can do. King with the miss, but Maddy Westbeld got the rebound. Goodness, and then King.
Been a source of scoring for your team, but you don't want to put her in a tough spot and be vulnerable with 3 fouls.
Yeah, averaging 13 points per game, second only to Dunn as Westbeld gets it in. Just learned earlier today that Hannah was not going to be available. Thought she would be, but they want to keep her out. There's a travel, see if Hannah can play or will play in that one. Here's Miles, who's scoreless, no more.
Had a feeling, shooting over 40% this season. That's great.
Averaging 16.5 points per game. Hidalgo at 26 points per game. Count it.
We noticed in the commercial was a disparity in rebounds. Georgia Tech has got to do a better job of hitting the board. Notre Dame's over double.
Notre Dame just great pace. King took steps.
She helped create that turnover.
Drive to the basket. How about that?
Critical.
Citron finding Carlin. From the outside, and you can tell that Dunn, as she posed, felt that one was going in. Closest they have been since early in the first quarter off. That's a good person to go to. King. Now, away from the ball with the defense.
Even understand that they're supposed to be a little stuttered in the spotlight, right? They come in and they're just like, all right, I'm going to play as hard as I can.
That was Chit Chat with the basket as Prosper. Her parents were basketball players at Concordia University in that great city. Nothing but net, you know, they're right here.
They are.
And also take a look ahead. We got you covered on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. And Kelly Gramlich, Dustin Walters and Kelly Gramlich, rounding out the crew. And we'll hear from them at halftime as well.
Let's see what Georgia Tech here, if they can utilize this minute, get a couple shots here. Dunn with a great cut. Good recognition.
Love little players who can go. Koval rescued it, got quickly double teamed. Great defense by the Yellow Jackets, and now Laredo on the breakout. The Jackets just down 3. Citron trying to extend it, but an offensive foul.
She did keep them hopping.
They did call it on Koval, who is scoreless. Miles only with 2 points.
And she's got her team within 1 shot of tying Notre Dame.
And Chit Chat getting the start over Laredo today. Coach Fortner said she needed to get more scoring and kind of thrown into the fire. This is a team that was down by 13 in the second quarter, but came back to cut the lead to only 3. Georgia Tech has only beaten Notre Dame once in history, and we have ourselves a tie ball game courtesy of Dunn.
She Ivy's had 5 games with 3 or more threes. You could add tonight, possibly is another one, but her range has been one of the difference makers for that. So has Citron.
Very well out. A great second quarter. She's now 6 for 8 from the floor. Shot clock into single digits for one of the few times tonight. Miles with 3 triple-doubles this year, has 6 in her career. The only player in the nation averaging 16 points, 6 rebounds, and 7 assists.
That's silky smooth, too, even though it didn't go in. You see Westbeld so comfortable, and the star of the night.
Georgia Tech energized. Trying to pull off the upset against the number 3 team. Morgan kept it short. Offensive board. Couldn't hold on to it the other time in their last game, a loss to Louisville.
Well, where the Irish are leaving some points on the table is they have 10 offensive boards. How about that move from Miles? A little hezzy, the underhand finish.
Notre Dame up 4. Dunn looking for her shot a lot more, it looks like, this year.
I love the way that she got that ball and just curled. Felt the defender behind her, so that's what you do. Continue on to the rim.
Citron wide open. Prosper for 12.
Got it. What looked like a pretty easy bunny for her. Instead, go for the high risk, play the 3. She trusts her teammates enough. Notre Dame with his zone defense in this possession, messing with Black. Niele Ivey talking about how she's one of our go-tos. She guarded Paige Becker. She guarded Juju Watkins.
Those, I would say, are difficult assignments.
I'd say.
And she did a good job on both of those players. Notre Dame has beaten UConn 3 straight times. Prosper hit the 3 and then came back and drove for 2.
She's got her game. Look how tightly Notre Dame's playing that zone. Oh, yeah, they were able to get behind it anyways.
Termes is an amazing passer. Marcus Freeman, the classy head coach for Notre Dame, and everybody's buzzing in town about it. That will be Monday night. Oh, Olivia Miles. Asterisk for that one. Liza Carlin with the finish. Open look for Dunn. Wow. Went up, out, and in.
She's gotten a home roll tonight. Add another game where she's had 3 or more threes. We talked about how difficult her range can be.
Miles starting to take over now after a quiet start. And an offensive foul call. 1 for 6 in the first half. She is 3 for 4 here in the second half from the floor. Notre Dame is the best three-point shooting team percentage-wise in the country, as Sonia Citron has a magical drive to the basket. They are being out-rebounded by 20 in this game, yet they're still in it. She and Dunn have combined for 32 of their 50 points. Who has the ball now, but guarded by Citron with that length.
Tech's got to try to hit Dunn, number 25, in the middle of the screen there.
Right off the back of the rim. Citron, one of several players who could bring the ball up for the Irish. Westbeld, but wide open for 3. That's a mistake. Maddy makes him pay. Just talked how they weren't hitting a lot of threes in this game. Westbeld coming back from a foot injury.
She's 6 for 7. And 9 from Westbeld.
Practically perfect.
I love the way that Citron set that play up because of her dribble action. She draws so much attention from defenders.
So quick.
Yes.
Just like that, she's by you.
We talked about separation time. This was it.
Citron gets the steal. Now Miles going to set it up. No shot clock. Westbeld sets the screen. That draws the double for Miles. Maddy for 3. Wide left at the buzzer, but a very good third quarter for Notre Dame. They outscored Georgia Tech by 8. And Notre Dame with that separation at the end of the third quarter. They lead by 11. The Irish unbeaten in the ACC, taking on a Georgia Tech team that was 15-0 and have dropped 2 straight games.
All right, third quarter, those last 3 minutes and really 30 seconds, we saw Notre Dame really change and hone in on their zone and seem to be giving Georgia Tech problems. Their offense slowing down, but Dunn trying to extend the range one more time. I thought she was going to get another friendly home roll there.
Already got one. But yeah, you're right about that. Good point. The zone sort of has switched things up. Citron continues to be aggressive. Automatic on the ESPN app. Kelly Gramlich, who is here with our Nothing But Net crew, was on with Pat earlier today. Thrilled to have the Nothing But Net crew here. They're going to be here all night, do their show live after Cal Duke, which is after us.
I mean, that's big time. Having them in the building here, it's been great to have that synergy pregame right in here, and then just to have that perspective at shoot-around. I mean, sit next to Ivy Ladder, sit next to Muffet McGraw and Kelly. It's like, wow, we got the goats in the building now.
Muffet knows a thing or two about basketball. Leah Two King gets it back to Miles. Westbeld, nice curl into the lane. Boy, she has looked great tonight. Chit Chat has been quiet. And Niele Ivey, the exception usually, right, is you don't want to follow the legend. You want to be the person who follows the legend.
Right.
Miles with the 3. Great hustle. Oh, then lost it, but fortunately Chit Chat was there to pick her up.
Sometimes a little broken play will work well for you. Georgia Tech is desperate for some pace. They finally get a play where they can do it. It's going to be tough to try to make a comeback here, especially when Notre Dame hitting from everywhere, finding the 3 finally. This was a game where they didn't shoot a whole lot of three-point shots early on, Pam, but they're making up for it now.
Yeah, here come the 3s from, again, the team with the best three-point shooting percentage of the country. Wright misses from outside. Westbeld hunts it down, but Kara Dunn was able to intercept.
Tech going to show some zone.
Westbeld. 20 for Maddy. That is by far her season high. Previous was 14 against Wake Forest. Again, Westbeld getting the start with Hidalgo out. Augustinaite, the sophomore from Lithuania.
Distance tonight, she hasn't really been the factor.
Terrific look to Westbeld with a rare miss tonight as she tried to reverse. Yeah, Augustinaite had 7 threes in a win against Rice earlier this year, career high. Morgan working on Citron. That's a tough go. But done. Inside 5 minutes to go now. Citron dribbling around. Prosper again. Short on the 3. Good defense there, Citron. Oh, they give it away, just sloppy.
Yeah, one of the things about Notre Dame's offense tonight, their turnovers not been where they would like them to be. I'm starting to hear some great stories of the community bonding together and getting people the resources they need. Please donate if you can.
Let's go, Callie. Hang in there. Miles, little hesitation. Done with good defense, but she scored anyway.
Yep.
She's up to 11. Augustinaite. Just a little bit too long. Citron with the board. Her 5th of the night to go along with 21. Westbeld has 20.
Wow. You're good. If you're Georgia Tech, you like that shot from Augustinaite. She caught it in rhythm. King going to do what she does best as well, which is finish in traffic. Georgia Tech has to be so purposeful with their possessions right now, Pam. They do not have the time to let the defense give them a shot. They got to go ahead and take it just like that.
King doubled, and they're going to get her for a travel.
And call out for the basketball. You got to be vocal.
Augustinaite nails the 2 that time.
It's a tough fadeaway shot and a good quick score for Georgia Tech. I'd say, yeah, you got to move the defense up. You got to start pressuring, try to create some more turnovers. As we've seen tonight, this is the game where you can take advantage of that. Notre Dame has shown vulnerability in turning the ball over.
Their 21 turnovers, one fewer than their season high. They almost matched that. But King bailed them out. 82 with a couple of quick buckets. Morgan working on Citron. Augusta Naite wants it. Firing away here in the fourth. Minute and a half to go. Miles saw a little bit of daylight and took it.
It's going to be hard to keep off the boards. Jessica Peterson, one of the best rebounders in the country.
Notre Dame will go to 6-0 in the ACC, on top of the standings. They were picked to win it. But Georgia Tech, what a gritty comeback. They tied this game at 41, and Notre Dame took over from that. Notre Dame all-time now is 19-1 against Georgia Tech. They take it 81-66. 21 for Citron, 20 for Westbeld. And 21 points for Cara Dunn led the way.